Hello students, welcome to MGM Education. This is about a lesson that is an educated person. Who is an educated person? What are the parameters to decide whether a person is educated? Here in this lesson, Harold Nicholson, the author, provides us a clear-cut idea about the definition of education. Not only education, but what true education is. Does education means possessing class in the society or status in jobs? No, he says the true education is not simply compartmentalized scholarly specialized knowledge, but actually it is a perpetual stream, right? Perpetual ମାନେ जोटाकि continuity थिबो पिलाउने of fresh ideas. Rather an educated person से author clear करी कहते जे educated person होची गोटे cultivated person, a person of complete knowledge and common sense. तापर से कहते education is a continuous process, lifelong continuous till death. It is official or non-official matters not, right? So he says it itself in the complexity or flexibility of mind in inventing new information, माने cultivating innovative ideas, बोले new ideas spontaneously, माने तासे आपे आपे होतो अच्छी, okay, ever widening interest in the quality of life. Then se कहते it also improves the quality of life. That education can be said as true education. But here our concept is exactly who is an educated person in real sense. So सेटा से beginning रे एमती करछन चलो पिला माने एबे टिके टेक्स्ट जाक देखिबा टेक्स्ट रे हमको जाना पड़ियो राइट कोन जाना पड़छि से देखछन देखो आई रिसीव्ड दिस वीक ए पोस्ट कार्ड from some reader of the spectator पिला माने इंग्लैंड रो गोटे वीकली मैगजीन टा right suggesting that I should devote my next essay on the pages of defining what exactly I meant by an educated person. से मैगजीन रे जने तांको पचारचंती गोटे आर्टिकल लेखो बोली कहउचंती आपनकर नेक्स्ट एसे रे जे an educated person बोल के हमें केमती डिफाइन करिवा बा जानि पारिबा what are the parameters. तांको रिएक्शन देखो I was pleased by this communication partly because it is a warm surprise to receive an anonymous postcard which is amicably well friendly intended. How partly because I thought his suggestion was an excellent idea. मते भी लागे एटा गोटे भल आइडिया ये दै लिखिबा पई कहउछि जो an educated person विषय रे. What could be easier or more interesting than to set down on paper तातो से खाता कलम धरिक बसले तातो विचार कले an educated person को केमती आमे डिफाइन करिवा भिन्न भिन्न क्वेश्चंस तांक माइंड को आसिला अपर क्लास हायर क्लास मिडिल क्लास ना स्टेटस देखि कहबा ना एजुकेशन क्वालिफिकेशन देखि गोटे एजुकेटेड पर्सन बोली डिसाइड कर दवा ना ए पर्सन हु इज इंटेलेक्चुअली मैनेजिंग थिंग्स ताको एन एजुकेटेड पर्सन कहबा ना से सेवरल ग्राउंड को नहीं करी वर्तमान के गोटे एजुकेटेड पर्सन रो बोली कि ठीक से कहा जाए पारिबो से विषय लिखिबार स्टार्ट कले. He started writing. Then he says, I came to the conclusion that when I spoke or write of an educated person, I had in fact no clear idea. से कोचन ताकर किछि clear idea नाही. All of what sort of a person I had in mind, किंतु को प्रकार लोक को एजुकेटेड कहबा मो माइंड रे गोटे चलची confusion. I recognized in the first place that the phase in certain contexts and circumstances was often used not to designate any degree of erudition or schooling, but as a synonym of what used to be called a person of quality. ସେ ଏଠି କ'ଣ କହିଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ମୁଁ ରିକଗ୍ନାଇଜ୍ କଲି ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ ପ୍ଲେସ୍ରେ ଗୋଟେ ଫ୍ରେଜ୍ that a person of quality ବୋଲେ କ୍ୱାଲିଟି ଥିବା ବ୍ୟକ୍ତିକୁ ଆମେ ଏଜୁକେଟେଡ୍ କରିପାରିବା କି? We have all today become so extremely class conscious that we hesitate to employ such expressions. ଆମ ଭିତରେ जो class consciousness ଆସି ଯାଇଛି ହାୟର କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଅପର କ୍ଲାସ୍ ମିଡିଲ୍ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଲୋୟର କ୍ଲାସ୍ ବୋଲିକି ତାପରେ ସେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି I hesitate to use this elegant euphemism ବୋଇଲେ rude language को बा ए को आमे respectable रे प्रेजेंट करवाटा होची euphemism देखुन से कौन कहते जे I happen to dislike verbal elegance and to detest euphemism बोले rude वाक्य गुड़ी को रेस्पेक्टफुल rude person को आमे रेस्पेक्टफुल person कहवा से गुड़ा को I may have slipped into the compromise of saying that an educated person when I really meant a person who appertained to the now which was once known as the rich. This assuredly is a lamentable confusion, one which I wrote it. बोल से कहते तापर बर्नार्ड शाह को रिफर कर बर्नार्ड शाह विषय कौन कहते देख बर्नार्ड शाह हु पजेज माने हैज सच अनडाउटेड भर्बाल प्रोबिटी एमती भर्बाली माने कथार कहवाटा को भर्बाल बोलिबे इंग्लिश रे पिला माने up to now he is saying us that what shall I write about an educated person. I cannot use the verbal language as Mr. Bernard Shaw has used in his election times. The old English phrase, the lower class, lower income group, ये use करथिले सिमती, or the opposite, I cannot use. तो मु an educated person बोले कौन लिखबी? What shall I write? He is thinking about the definition now, right? There must have many other occasions, more or less, when I have used these phrases. But in a certain level of education बोलसे कहते and next he says एबे पिलाने से को कैटेगरी लोक मान को एजुकेटेड रु बाहर करचंती से विषय कहचंती नंबर 1 a person analphabets to Aristotle बोले जे लेखा पढ़ा जानिनी किंबा जे अरिस्टोटल पर्यंत जानिची बोले अधिक जानिची तापरे जे सर्टिफिकेट होल्डर्स राइट स्कूल सर्टिफिकेट होल्डर्स एवरेज नॉलेज थिबा लोक हिस्ट्री ज्योग्राफी से एक्सक्लूड करचन तांको he also excluded the specialists and lepidopterists and conchologists all whose knowledge is no doubt have their speciality in their field but I cannot call them an educated person police कहचंती right within the limit of any particular or technical branch of learning within the limit can we say them but I reject to say them that they are educated. I shall further leave aside those persons whose education is due to purely fortuitous circumstances and who are able to convey the impression of erudition बोले learning scholarly पांडित्य देखाउथबे due to the chance that they had a Russian mother or worked in alienaries from the age of 10 माने laborious हेतिबे ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ଏଜୁକେଟେଡ୍ ପର୍ସନ୍ ବୋଲି ମୁଁ ଡିଫାଇନ୍ କରିପାରିବି ନାହିଁ ବୋଲି ଦୋଜ୍ ହୁ ଆର୍ ଏକ୍ସକ୍ଲୁଡ୍ ସେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି। ଦେଖ ଏକ୍ସକ୍ଲୁଡ୍ ଇନକ୍ଲୁଡ୍ ବୋଲେ ଇଏ ମିଶେଇବା, ଏକ୍ସକ୍ଲୁଡ୍ ବୋଲେ ବାହାର କରିଦେବା, ଏମାନଙ୍କୁ ସେ ଲିଷ୍ଟ ବାହାର କରିଦେଲେ। ସେ ଏବେ ତ ଏସେ ଲେଖୁଛନ୍ତି ନା ଏନ୍ ଏଜୁକେଟେଡ୍ ପର୍ସନ୍ରେ, ସୋ ଏମାନେ ସମସ୍ତେ ତାଙ୍କ ଥଟ୍କୁ ଆସିଲାରୁ ସେ ଏମାନଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରକାର ରିଜେକ୍ଟ କରି ଗଲେ, ରାଇଟ୍। ତାପରେ ଆହୁରି କ'ଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଦେଖ, ଦି ଏକ୍ସପ୍ରେସନ୍ ଏନ୍ educated person might be taken to apply to an individual who being possessed an average intelligence, अच्छा जार एवरेज इंटेलिजेंस अच्छी, एप्लिकेशन अच्छी, मेमोरी अच्छी, ताको आमे एजुकेटेड पर्सन कोई परिवा की, and who has devoted his time several years of his life in acquisition माने getting collecting general knowledge. Oh, it would not be within such narrow confines, এটা भी হব नहीं বলছে, তাকে narrow বলছি বলে কম আলোচনা দিচ্ছি। I should use the expression since a moment examination of the definition proves it to be wholly unsatisfactory, এটা भी मत किसी satisfaction लगुनी, right। तापर से कौन कहउछन देखिबा। Now see the students, what is interesting here is he is going to write about the definition of an educated person, but maximum of his text covers one thing, that all educated people, those who are speaking of themselves, are not completely educated ବୋଲି କହୁଛନ୍ତି। ଆगे କ'ଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଦେଖ, a person who cease to educate himself at any age is not, in my sense, an educated person। ଦେଖ ମୋ ସେନ୍ସରେ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଏଜ୍ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ପାଠ ପଢ଼ିକି ଛାଡ଼ି ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି, ସେ ଏଜ୍କୁ 5 to 21 କି ଏତିକି ଆମର ଡିଗ୍ରୀ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ୍ ହେଲା 21 ହେଉଛି, ଆଉ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଆମେ ଏଜୁକେଟେଡ୍ କହିପାରିବାନି। ଓନ୍ଲି ଦୋଜ୍ କ୍ୟାନ୍ କ୍ଲେମ୍, କେବଳ ସେମାନେ କ୍ଲେମ୍ କରିପାରିବେ ଟୁ ଦିସ୍ ଟାଇଟଲ୍ ବୋଲେ କ'ଣ, educated person बोलके, who continued to learn until they are nailed in their coffin, माने from birth to death education चलथिबा छिका। by just knowing general knowledge आमे कोई परिमाने जे जने educated बोलके, right। so the parents have assured us that the aim of higher education is to know something about everything and everything about something. Much as I envy and admire those are rare people, of course ସେମାନେ rare जमाने को माने जमाने की know something about everything किंबा everything about something, एटा गोटे complicated concept से एठी present करछंती। आ कहउछंती I admire those people who are in fact capable, जमाने की capable of these extremes of erudition माने कौन, पांडित्य देखियो देबे। I should regard them, मु ताको रेस्पेक्ट दबा कथा, but not so much एते नुहे as a person of exceptional education, but rather a sports phrase akin well same to lightning calculator, who have been endowed by nature with extraordinary mind, extraordinary mind अच्छी, but no normal person can possibly, तापर से कोई चंद देखो, no normal person can possibly know something about everything रो something जानिबाटा एते सहज नाही बोली कहउछंती। and even those who know everything about something, एटा भी जमान जानथिबे, became incapable of elastic thought, समान मध्ये incapable का को दृष्टिरु, elastic thought दृष्टिरु। elastic thought बोले कोन, जो थॉट टा समय को धरिक चेंज हो जाउथबो, राइट। चेंज होबाटा को इलास्टिक बोली कहबे। तेणु से एठी कहउछंती जे द नॉर्मल ह्यूमन बीइंग हु एस्पायर्ड, जदि हां टिक छाड़ देल पिला, से कहउछंती एटा अननेचुरल एंड मास्टरपीस ऑफ टोपियारिस्ट आर्ट बोली कहउछंती। ए प्रकार लोक जो माने कि नो एवरीथिंग अबाउट समथिंग, सेमानकु से टोपियारिस्ट आर्ट बोली कहै। टोपियारिस्ट बोले कोन, मास्टरपीस ऑफ द टोपियारिस्ट। मास्टरपीस बोले कोन, एग्जांपल ऑफ टोपियारिस्ट माने जो माने गार्डन मन कर काम करथबे, तांकर भी गुड कला अछि ना, सेटा भी गुड प्रकार एजुकेशन का। Normal human being who aspire to be educated should concentrate upon those areas of learning. Say it advice ଦଉଛନ୍ତି କି ଦେଖ educated person ଯେ ବି ହେଇଥାଉ ନା କାହିଁକି normally should concentrate କରିବା ଅଛି on those areas ସେ areas of learning ରେ which are attuned ମାନେ same line ରେ ଯାଉଥିବ to his individual capacity ତାର capacity ବିଷୟରେ ବୋଲେ ସେ ଏଇଠି ଏ କଥା କହିଛନ୍ତି ଜଣେ ମ୍ୟୁଜିକ ବିଷୟରେ ଶିଖିବା ଲୋକ ମ୍ୟୁଜିକ ଏରିଆରେ ହିଁ ତାର ନଲେଜକୁ ଏକୁମୁଲେଟ୍ କରିକି ଯିବା କଥା ସିନା ସେ ଲିଟରେଚର ସାହିତ୍ୟ ଏଗୁଡ଼ାକ ପଢ଼ିକିରି କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ୍ ନଲେଜ କେବେ ବି ପାଇବ ନାହିଁ ସେ ଦୃଷ୍ଟିରେ ଯିବା କଥା ନାହିଁ ସେ ଏରିଆକୁ ବୋଲି ସେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ରାଇଟ୍ ସେ ଯେଉଁ ଲାଇନ୍ରେ ଥିବେ ସେ ଏରିଆରେ ୱାଇଡର ଏରିଆ କଭର କରିବା ପାଇଁ ବୋଲି ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିବା ଅଛି ଲର୍ଣ୍ଣିଂ ପ୍ରୋସେସରେ ସେ କହିଛନ୍ତି ସେ ଆଉ କହୁଛନ୍ତି it would be wasteful ବୋଲି କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଫର ଏକ୍ଜାମ୍ପଲ ମୁଁ ଏବେ ଯେଉଁଟା ତମକୁ କହିଲି a man who was learning music go for engineering course or one who is an engineer student he will go for learning music right or a musician who will go for learning literature or sahitya or history or geography and this type of people we cannot call them as educated because they are very much fluctuating their mind roche. Next he says why he has given all these examples. He says like this, I disclose this, I am not really thinking about education but only about culture. It is I who admit an unfortunate circumstance परिस्थिति that the poverty of our native tongue माने इठी language पिलावाने that has not provided us a word less offensive than this कौन से पदटा culture कि बोले हमें culture करचो इटा हमर culture बोलिए किंतु to describe the level of learning which is reached by those who have forgotten most of they have been taught आमे जो जिनस लर्निंग करथिले जो जाको भूली जाइछे फेर से गुडा को रिवाइव करिवारे जो मानकर इंटरेस्ट थाए yet I don't think हेले भी मैं भाबुनी that जे it is so disgraceful to admit that when I speak of an educated person I don't merely mean someone who has passed his examination जे कहउछंती मु ताको educated person कोइ पारिबनी जे passed his examination and qualified but a person who has किंतु सेमान को कोई हबो who has acquired trained who has cultivated mind right the finally say value of liberal education विषय कहउछंती the value above all of the humanities is that it enables those who have been so fortunate as to enjoy these graceful benefits to apply the machineries of their mind to area beyond the confine माने restricted area रु आगो को पळे जायछन माने of their own schooling रो टीचिंग रो बाहर की बाहर नॉलेज मध्य जो माने एक्वायर करिवारे फिट माने ऑलराउंडर हेले का एजुकेटेड बोला बळे असे कहचंती वैल्यू ऑफ एजुकेशन रे से ह्यूमैनिटी ऊपर टेस्ट दैचंती ए सब जा कला पर मध्य ह्यूमैनिटी if you don't have you cannot be said as a completely educated person. Okay students, thank you very much for watching the video.